So today we are going to discuss about functional block diagram of a computer. And computer is an electronic device that is meant for manipulating the data. Or you can say simply it's a big calculator. And this functional unit of a computer contains five units: input devices, output devices, memory unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and lastly control unit. So altogether 5 units will go one by one. Input devices: for any computer you require input devices, process, and then output device. IPO. I means input, P means process, and O means output. So you have to provide some input, and then you have to ask to manipulate something, and then after processing the thing, then you want output. So here input devices are required, output devices are required, and then some process is required. And if you want to store results, then memory is required. Altogether 5 units will go one by one. Input devices. Input devices are keyboard, mouse, scanner, mic, etc. etc. And input device is keyboard is an input device, and keyboard originally it contains 104 keys, and in that A to Z all alphabets, 0 to 9, and then some special characters. And scanner generally it scans the code, or you can say barcode scanner. Whenever you go to library and return a book, then obviously they will scan your book where barcode is present, so that the librarian will get the information of your photo, your roll number, your section, your year of study, and whether there is any due, etc. etc. Every information will be is getting by scanning the barcode of the book. Or whenever you go to a supermarket, DMart or Reliance, where all the packing items they will be having some barcode, so that if you want to purchase anything, they will also scan the barcode where the item and what is the cost of that, how much, how many kgs are there, everything will be displayed on their screen. And regarding output devices, printer, VDU means visual display unit, and speaker, plotter, etc. etc. So many output devices are there, and I will discuss only about a printer. Printer is an output device where in good olden days you will be having a character printer. That means one character at a time, just like type machine, where you can type only one character at a time. But later on, line printers. Line printers mean line after line. Total page contain some number of lines, and they will be printing line after line. And page printers. Page printers means one page at a time. Generally, whenever you want to take a print printout of your photo, then you require a page printer because total photograph is printed at a time. So input devices and output devices, and next we want to discuss about the memory unit. Memory unit generally it's divided into two types: primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory is also called as main memory, and secondary memory is also called auxiliary memory. And primary memory is required for your system. Secondary memory is required whenever you want some backup. Generally, primary memory is small in size, secondary memory is large in size. And this primary memory is again divided into two parts. One is RAM, the other one is ROM. RAM means random access memory, ROM means read only memory. So, RAM is also called as working storage area, and random access memory is a volatile memory. Volatile memory in the sense whenever as long as power is there, the contents will be existing. When there is no power, the contents will disappear. So definitely you require some power. That's why people are whenever you are working, the entire thing will be placed in the random access memory. So to have some backup for certain few minutes, generally people use UPS. UPS means uninterrupted power supply. So that whenever there is no power, immediately UPS will turn on, and so that contents will be existing, so that you can save the contents. And in your system, generally date and time and your configuration of the system, everything will be stored in a RAM. But what happens, because this is a power based, power is gone means total contents will be lost. So generally what we do is to have the date and time, because you can switch off your system, and after 4 5 days if you switch on again your system, you'll be getting correct date and time. Why? Because this date and time are stored in RAM, but that RAM is in fact having a backup battery. That battery is called CMOS battery, complementary metal oxide semiconductor battery. That battery is a rechargeable battery. So whenever you switch on your system, automatically that battery is charged, so that that will store entire configuration and date and time. And RAM is also again two parts: static RAM and dynamic RAM. And static RAM, that is basic component is a flip flop. Dynamic RAM basic component is a capacitor. So anyway, we are having memory unit, a separate memory unit. There we can discuss in detail. And ROM. ROM means read only memory, where you can read but you cannot write. Only what are all the contents that are there in the read only memory you can read. And this is irrespective of power, or you can say it's a non volatile memory. That means it won't depend on the power. Power is there or not, that is a different story. ROM contents are existing. And here this ROM is generally having all permanent programs. Say for example, you are whenever you are booting your system, you may contain some logo. That logo, to run that logo, information is there in the read-only memory. And whenever you want to boot your system, there will be a BIOS. BIOS means basic input output system. All the input devices and output devices what are connected to the your system, they will be checked. Simple, whenever you boot, your keyboard light will glow and off. That means that keyboard is recognized. Like that, it will check all the IO devices that are connected to your system, and that particular program is stored in the read-only memory because it's a permanent program. So all permanent programs are stored in read-only memory. And regarding arithmetic logic unit, all arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all arithmetic operations are done in arithmetic and logic unit. And logical operations like AND, OR, NOT, XOR, these are the logical operations that are done in the ALU. Arithmetic operations and logical operations both are done in the ALU. Generally, ALU contains corresponding circuits. Say, for example, addition. So, there you can find half adder, full adder, adder, all adder circuits are there in ALU. And logical operations for AND, OR, NOT, and XOR. For that also some circuits are existing in ALU. And control unit. Control unit means here all the control signals provided by the control unit. Say for example, read signal, write signal. These two are control signals. So read, here you will be having memory read, IO read, and write signal means memory write, IO write. Different control signals are provided by the control unit. If you combine both ALU and control unit, you can say it is a CPU, central processing unit. And this is the brain of your system. Just like brain gives the control signals, and the CPU also gives the control signals to input devices, output devices, and memory. So altogether, you'll be having five units: input unit, output unit, memory unit, arithmetic logic unit, and control unit. So altogether, these are the five units.